Hello and welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'm Elvis, your host, and I'm here to let you know that this is a not safe for work podcast. We are teachers at the end of the week and really the end of our ropes, and we'd like to be able to talk honestly and openly about education without having to worry about losing our jobs. So we'll be using pseudonyms throughout the podcast, hence the Elvis. I'd like to give a big shout out to all of our Patreon patrons out there. Yes, that's how we fund this. Instead of doing ads and commercials, we have patrons where lovely people like you listen and pay about $5 a month, and not only do they get the self-satisfaction of supporting this beautiful podcast and keeping it going, they get access to all kinds of extra bonus features. Our Patreon has over 100 exclusive episodes, bonus podcasts, little special recordings, interviews with the hosts. There's all kinds of things. And if you join our Patreon, you get access to our special Facebook group, which is only for paying members of the Patreon, where you can ask questions, meet people, talk to the hosts. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, sign up and do it now, because if you do, you get your name read out like these beautiful, sexy people. Thank you to Justin M., Jessica C., Inga, Kaylee, Terry J., Tracy B., Miss Wonderstats, Quentin P., Ekabex, Mistress Mischief, Natasha S., Miss Anthropy, Princess Buttercup, Dragon Lady, Helena C., Aaron B., Stephanie S., Texas Teacher Kristen, James Nally J., Samantha D., Lisa C., Rachel, Jen Genie, Exhausted Band Director, Kimberly K., Jessica A., Swift Lev Owners, Amanda F., Ariana L., Physics Runner, Steph, Michael M., Aldrich T., La Scorpionita, Britt M., Teresa H., Biker Teach, Marcia M., Christina B., Jessica F., did I say that right? Jason F., Abby B., Sarah B., Regina N., Josie S., Sam B., Mary E., Kristen W., Vanessa J., Mary C., RJR, Kristen C., Johanna H., Irma A., Nimi, and Sarah N. Yay! Thank you to those beautiful people! Woo! Also, if you get a chance, support Ludlam Dramatics. They are the best place for educational theater resources out there. If you're a theater teacher, support Ludlam Dramatics. All right, my friends, if you get a chance, find one person who hasn't heard of this podcast and tell them about it. Tell them how much you love it and how much they should listen to it too. All right, my friends, I hope everyone out there can enjoy this one. It's episode number 193. Yay!
Yeah, no, but I need like a tune to put the lyrics to.
Get a bucket and a mop. It's too many syllables for balls, though. Balls, but balls.
Balls.
It's no good.
Single ladies is too no.
Balls. Balls.
Balls.
What about wrecking ball?
Balls.
Too many people getting in on these balls.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and today I'm joined at my wonderful table by the lovely, luscious Count.
Chocolate balls. Honor of the lovely bunny there.
And across from him we have Mr. Wayne Kurr.
She can talk about her balls all the time, but when I bring them up, it's a problem.
Hers are delicate and sweet. And then we have Miss Bunny.
No one can resist my sweaty balls.
Yay! It's like the first episode. Well, friends, welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink. I'm glad you guys are here. We had a huge taco feast at my house, and they weren't like your standard white people tacos. Like, we had like some meats and some corn tortillas, and like there was pico.
See,
It was good stuff. Anyway, now that we have a drink or two in us and we're on round 2, we're going to discuss some of these. So, did I just introduced everybody? What's the next step? Tequila! No. Tonight is not a tequila. In the words of Rosie, I don't have the spoons for tequila right now. It's just there would be complete utter collapse with Elvis. Where is he? He was either crying or in the yard. I'm not sure which. Maybe both. We'll see. All right, so let's just jump into our article. So our first one today is from user Emmy Stressed or Mimi Stressed, and it says, our district requires a club to run for 5 years before the advisor gets paid. Holy shit.
Wow.
What?
All right, here comes the text. Am I in the wrong for thinking this is messed up and manipulative? Yes, I understand that if a club has maybe less than 10 students, it's not economical to keep the club running. But if 20 plus students want a club and are clearly dedicated members, the advisor deserves to get paid. Hey, darling. It's okay. Where was I? My school, as well as other students, have been pressing me first to start a French club. It's sad because part of me knows I would have a lot of fun running this club, but it's not that easy. Our club advisors are expected to attend a lot of school events, and teachers always pay out of pocket for extra expenses, which is not okay, but at least if I were receiving a stipend, it wouldn't hurt as much. I'm the only French teacher, so when parents complain to our principal about the lack of French club, she always pins this on me. But I'm always honest with the students and parents and say I simply cannot financially afford to take on this task for free.
Yep.
Is this normal? I'm in New York, a pretty good state to work as teachers for the most part. I've only worked for elementary schools and private schools, and I know when I host after-school stuff, the parents pay me for it because it's considered an after-school event or something. And for schools I've worked at where we've had clubs, a lot of those have just been out of the goodness of the teacher's heart. Like, if you want to run something before school, I ran a book club before school because they wouldn't let the kids in before 7:30. But if I had a club, I could let them in at 7. And their parents dropped them off at 6:45 when they're on their way to go do whatever they were going to go do. And it was like cold as hell and snowing. Like, okay, yeah, we'll have a book club. Come to my room, we'll read for half an hour, and then you guys go to breakfast. But I never got paid a cent out of it. And I didn't mind because I was volunteering. I was doing it for the kids. However, if they actually had a rule saying, you know, we'll pay you if you do it for 5 years, how many teachers actually stay at one school for 5 years? I know there are a lot from before where that was the thing, but I kind of feel right now education's going the way of corporate world where if you want to get a raise, you need to jump ship and go somewhere else. They're not going to give you it out of hand.
This is true.
But that does really sound messed up. What's your opinion, friends?
The expectation that you put in 4 years of unpaid work before they'll consider, compensating you for your time sounds extortionate.
Especially as like a college degreed professional.
Yeah.
Where we already did unpaid mentoring, unpaid student teaching, unpaid internships.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It's, like you said, and I have done the, volunteer clubs, the things before school or whatever, and that's one thing, but there wasn't an expectation, A, that we do one at all, and B, that, we pay for things for the students out of our own pockets. If you wanted to do one, we were allowed to, have the kids pay for their own, blah, blah, blah within reason, or do a fundraiser, or depending on, what it was, if we could connect it to the curriculum somehow, then maybe, the principal would help, throw a little bit of, campus, a little bit of campus cash towards it. Like, I have never heard of 4 years unpaid and you have to pay for everything out of pocket with no, like that's messy. That's a good way to not get teachers to sponsor your class.
Yeah, that's how if you never said that, like even said, okay, we're not paying if you want to do it, that's great, but no. Wayne?
Well, I want to throw some shade because I'm certain that if it was sports related, they would go ahead and put that shit right in their contracts and pay. But on a side note, I kind of look at it as two things because yes, I do have a after school program. Yes, I get paid for a portion of it, but I only get paid for a portion. So, and if we're being honest, let's just go ahead and say that it's 25% of the shit that I put into it. So, and I always love how administrators want to say, well, take your time, do what you need to do, but like when it comes to the parents saying, why isn't there this, they love to throw us under the fucking bus for it. And I'm sorry, I already spend enough damn time doing all the shit that I do after school, and I don't want to take on yet another responsibility. So if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, would you like to sponsor the I Love Harry Potter Club? No, I'm not into it. I'm sorry. So in which case, that's my 2 cents for what it's worth.
But Bunny might love to do that with some of her students. Might. I'm not signing up
for free.
Sure. Yeah. Now, there's a few passions I have. Like, I know there are some people who are passionate about chess, or they were passionate about, in high school, I remember there's teachers who just loved Jane Austen, so they had the Jane Austen Society where they would meet up and do that. And there's even wrestling and e-games and e-sports, where I can imagine there'd be a few teachers who that's their thing, so they're happy to stay after school and do it. But
No, that's just tacky. Cal?
I think it's an unrealistic expectation, one, to take on the responsibility of a French club or Spanish club, because not only are you expected to enrich their experience and knowledge of that subject, of that culture, but normally with a club as big as that can be or as popular, there's travel expected.
Yes.
Whether it be a French restaurant or somewhere that is, debuting a French menu, and you want to expose them to new foods or something they haven't seen or considered before. That cannot all be expected to come from the teacher. Mm-hmm. But like you said, if the title on it was coach, or if the title on it was director of, there's a stipend or an additional compensation. So, as we've said on here before, do not allow them to pressure you into giving up more of yourself, more of your time, beyond what you physically feel like you can do. Yeah. And that includes the financial aspect of it, too. If you don't feel like you can do it financially, then that's a no-go. This is not a profession you need to get into. We already feel like, we could be compensated quite generously. Nope, I said that wrong. We already feel like that we should be
better compensated.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's no reason to have this be a financial strain on you.
And I would like to throw in the last tidbit of, if they're expecting this from you, then they need to start putting their money where their mouth is. Mm-hmm. So, and if it's an expectation and they're saying that, like the bullshit that I remember in I believe all of our contracts, other duties as assigned, fuck that shit. So, in which case I went head to head with a certain assistant principal over that, and I ended up winning on that one. But no, I'm tired of the bullshit of, other duties as assigned. Put your money where your mouth is. If you're going to tell me that I have to be here this amount of hours away from my family, fuck off, pay me.
Mm-hmm. I think it's valid. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you've already set a good boundary with just telling the students, I cannot financially afford to take on this task for free. Mm-hmm. Yep. There's nothing they can do to argue with you. They're going to tell you you need to work more, and if they do argue with you, they're an asshole and ignore whatever they're saying.
Exactly.
If the parents are that interested in it, maybe they could offer to fund it.
Yeah.
Or even host it themselves.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Go ahead, get background check, do your own thing. Mm-hmm. Have it in your garage. Get 30 kids in your garage.
Volunteer once a week.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do one more, because that was just a little short. So this one is a really short one. This is from the Reddits. It's user JXC4C7. And it's, is this a red flag? Uh-oh. I just got offered a job as a middle school PE teacher with athletics duties. The pay is amazing for a first-year teacher, too. A couple of things are holding me back from jumping at the position. I feel like I got the job a little too easily. They literally asked me 3 questions: what my degrees were in, my background in athletics, and if I am certified. The school is located in a town with a super high crime rate, as well as the campus being in a bad part of town.
Damn.
Am I wrong about being hesitant, or are these huge red flags saying I should look elsewhere?
Yes.
No. So, here's the thing. If they're that desperate, it means they haven't turned away. But just because a school is in a shitty neighborhood or in a high crime thing really doesn't mean much. Because I've worked in really bad parts of town, and the kids have honestly been nicer and sweeter than when I've worked in the nicer parts of town. However, if they're having to replace someone so quickly, generally, and I don't want to speak for all PE teachers, but I know a lot of PE teachers, when they're not having to coach, when they're just doing athletic stuff, they kind of consider it a pretty easy gig. Like, the hours are long. PE coaches who are listening, don't lynch me, but they get to come with their whistle. My PE coach, she loved reading the newspaper while we did laps. That was like one of her favorite things to do. And
I think I had that same coach.
yeah, or they'd play some music, and their real job was to make sure there were no shenanigans in the locker rooms and break up fights when they happened.
Yeah.
I feel that you can do this even in the rough side of town. If nothing else, try it for a year, and honestly, if it's that bad, bounce.
Yeah.
If it's not your thing or the school just sucks, you can just say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not doing this, and it sucks for the school and admin, but they might need to step up their game and make the job, something where people actually want to stick around or do their part instead of just throwing fresh meat in front of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, say your thoughts. That was me.
So my red flag on that one was just the 3 questions. Like, there needs to be more to it than that. But then again, with the teacher shortage as it is, that probably may become a new thing, which kind of makes it sad, but at the same time true. Mm-hmm. So, but I think there's always red flags. There's a couple of Facebook groups that I stick through to look at for if I ever want to jump ship. And one thing I will tell you is every other year, if not every year, there is a specific school that is asking for a brand new fill in the blank. And in which case I'm looking at this saying, okay, it's almost every other year, if not every year. There's no way I'm ever going to apply for that job. Mm-hmm. And I mean, because obviously no job security there, but also what is the other person doing to run other people off every other year?
Yeah, I would want to know why the position was vacated, because it could be for something completely innocuous. Somebody's spouse got transferred to a different city, or there was a family health issue. Like, it could be that the position is vacant for
legitimate reasons.
Perfectly normal, non-problem reasons. Mm-hmm. But I would want to check for exactly the reasons that Wayne was saying.
One of the best things you can do is ask, hey, who else works here? Can I talk to one of them? Mm-hmm. And I know that's hard in the summer because you might be in an empty campus. But I have to say, I've had good jobs where the interviews went smoothly. They had to fill a position. They really didn't want to mess around. Like, you're qualified. You fit our range. Is this cool? You want it? Yeah. Okay, let's move on. I want my summer.
Yep.
And so that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but I don't know. Count?
I think I'm hoping that RXC asked a couple questions on their own as well. Most interviews that I've been in, there's been at least a half dozen to a dozen questions. Yep. But they could they may need help there. And like you said yourself, Elvis, I think it's really important to make sure that you don't have the mindset of just because a school may not be in the best neighborhood, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get a group of quality kids who want to work hard or who are excited about the opportunity to have athletics or participate in something along that realm. Yeah. It'll be good to. I would love an update in the next 90 days. Like, let us know what you think, or if by the end of September you now realize why this position was vacated and why they were so excited to offer you this job after 3 questions.
Well, and I know that there does tend to be more turnover in athletics coaching type positions anyway. People move, to be with
other coaches.
Yeah. They have their team, their group that they gel with, and they'll kind of move as a group, or like you said, moving up an opportunity to be a head coach instead of an assistant or an athletic director or whatever. So from what I have observed, at least in my part of the world here, there does seem like there's more kind of revolving door where coaching staff is concerned. So it may not be a red flag.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We say you go for it. Do it for a year.
Yep.
Or, do it for a month. Let them know.
And then if you walk away, you may have an opportunity to get something else because there's a teacher shortage.
Yeah.
I was thinking beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
Like, they may just be relieved to have somebody who is, has a degree and is qualified and not a criminal. Like that may be all they need at this point.
What are you trying to say?
And honestly, if you're out there a teacher and you haven't found one yet, or you feel like, oh, it's a teacher shortage, but I can't get a call back, just give it a couple weeks, because literally a lot of districts, 3 weeks before school starts, a month, I forget, is when the last time you can agree to not accept the contract or whatever
with no penalty.
And there's a lot of people who are just seeing what's available and where they can jump. And so I have a feeling the next week or two it's going to be a quick explosion of people like, you know what, I found something else, I think I'm going to stick with it. Or, you know what, I just inherited money, I'm out. Or my boyfriend got a job at McDonald's, he's paying more than me, so I'm going to go ahead and go there. Hopefully not.
There was a post that I saw that was like, shut the front door. They were offering an extra $10,000 on top of the salary just to get that position filled. But again, when I looked at what the job details were, I understood why
No, I saw that for the specials teacher because I looked. I was like, oh, 10,000 bonus plus. I think they were offering like 75,000 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But then no, you're pretty much going to be working there all day, all night, a lot of weekends, most of the school year.
Yes,
and it's not one where you really get summers off because during summers you have to plan or do a fundraiser or do something else. So
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Like if I lived in the area, I'd think about it. But I got kids right now. I can't take a teaching gig where I have to be coaching at night or I need to be up at night at school every single night because I won't ever get to see my own children. And for the amount of pay it is, it's not worth that.
No.
So, hey guys, guess what?
What?
We have a Patreon!
Oh my God, is it like OnlyFans?
I love that story.
Sounds dirty.
It is a good. I have to say, I put pictures of my feet up there.
Jesus.
And you know what? I think somebody put a heart on it. Like there was at least a little love.
One?
So I mean, if you're into feet, there's at least one picture in there. But there's a lot of other really good stuff. There's almost over 100 bonus episodes, exclusive audio comment. We load a few things in there every month. We have live watch parties with a Facebook group. You should sign up. It's only $5 a month. Go to Patreon and sign up for Teacher Needs a Drink podcast and do it now. Woohoo! All right, so
Does it include my porn playlist?
if you want to upload that, we're always looking for content. So
I think you have to subscribe to one of the upper tiers for that one.
yeah, get Wayne Kurr's porn. No, I don't want it. I can only imagine. It's either going to be really disturbing or I'm going to be like, oh, I am way more fucked up in kink than Wayne Kurr. And that's going to make me feel depressed. And so either way, I don't want it.
Take it to the next level.
I know. I'm like, oh, so what I'm doing is...
Step your game up.
Shit. So, my friends, would you rather have small, annoying talking faces on your nails?
Wow.
Or you can only stand or be hung upside down. Hashtag Batlife.
Whoa.
So once again, you either have small, annoying talking faces on your nails, or you can only stand or be hung upside down. Hashtag Batlife. So, Bunny, jump in, please.
For me, this is a really easy one because toenails, I wear closed-toed shoes. Fingernails, I will start getting acrylics and just cover those little mafkas up. Mm-hmm. So
get the dips.
Yeah, just paint right over them, acrylic nail right over them. Yeah, I don't currently do that, so I'm probably using the words wrong, but I know there's ways to shut them up.
You just hear Buddy walking down the hall, just hear a lot of... and just these muffled anti-Semitic things coming from...
It's so annoying, not racist.
Yeah, that's true.
Bubble wrap coming from your fingers.
I know.
This is the song that never...
Oh, God.
It just goes on my face.
Baby shark. Ooh, that could be
I can see the nails
Boo
just...
has discovered Baby Shark.
Yeah, it's... How did she discover it?
Library story time.
Okay,
We did not do this to her.
Yeah, that's what happens. Wayne, what about you? Tiny
sorry.
nails or Batlife?
I'm sorry, were the tiny nails speaking? I forgot that part.
I believe so, because it says, yes, it has small, annoying talking faces on your nails.
Oh, well, that's annoying. Yeah, bat life all the way, man. So.
All right. Wayne, what about you? Oh, Wayne.
Whoa,
I just talked to Wayne.
It's all
Count. I don't know how I mistake the two of you.
We're both
very, very charming.
Exactly.
You're both very tall.
Yeah.
Yes. The first thing that came to mind was I can't stand. I can't be upside down for that long. And I guess I could invest in Under Armour or very nice pairs of isotoner gloves. I don't know if they still make isotoners. I guess I'm still 2001 in my brain. I would give those a whirl and just have someone design some muzzle. I don't know. I gotta go with the talking fingernails, but I'll keep them clipped.
Yeah.
And jeez, my gosh.
If you don't stop talking, I'm going to clip him easier.
But I stand upside down and sleep?
Yeah, you're upside down.
No, I can't. There's a lot of blood rushing in my head.
Yeah, I don't like blood rush in my head. I don't like that feeling of being upside down for that
Headache all
long.
the time. Like you would just have a headache constantly.
Like, I don't mind being inverted for small amounts of time. Like, I'm cool for like 5 minutes is probably even starting to get it. But I remember when we were doing is it safe and civil? I don't remember. One of the restraint trainings on the de-escalation and if you do need to restrain a child. And it's an intense, like a 12-hour training and then like a 6-hour follow-up every year or whatever to make sure you restrain the children right. And there's some of the moves where it's like you bend the child at the waist and kind of bend them over with their hands up. And I remember the teacher, I hated her, the trainer wanting always to use me because it was an elementary school and so I was the only guy and so they always brought me up. And she'd like bend me over and I'd just be drained. She'd be talking, I was like, hey, we're done. Get up now. And like my sinuses are starting to fill with fluids and I was like, stop, I don't like this. Yeah, fuck you. So no, I'm going with And you know what? I'll just embrace them. Be like, guys, I'm sorry, my hands are assholes. If they could sing though. I like this idea of like doing harmonies and just like I mean
Spirit fingers.
it would be great. I could see it, but I don't know, talking fingernails with a love life.
Oh, man.
Dude, did you just grab her butt? Don't put us back there again. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening to another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'd like to thank my hosts who are with me. Count Chocolate, thank you for being here.
We want to thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. And Mr. Wayne Kurr.
Why is it still a problem for me to discuss my balls?
You know why. You know what you did. And Miss Bunny O'Hare.
Thank you again. It was a pleasure as always.
All right, folks. Everyone out there, take care of yourselves. Deep breaths, deep drinks. Cheers. Woohoo!
All right, my friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. Remember, if you love this podcast and you want to hear more of it, go to our Patreon and sign up. Go to patreon.com and look up Teacher Needs a Drink podcast for as little as $5 a month. And sign up and support Ludlam Dramatics too if you can. All right, my friends, it's getting clear and near. Enjoy these last few weeks. Cheers, my friends. Mwah.